Okay, our presentation for tonight is Jim McCormick. A little bit about him, if you haven't known him before. He's been a member since the early 1990s. You don't know what date that was? 91. 91, yeah. So we started in 84. He's one of that. We're still alive. That's hard, yeah. And he's our current treasurer. But he's held so many different offices. He's been president, office supervisor, been, involved on the board ever since then, right? Were you ever on? He said, let's let some new people come along. Stay. But yeah, that's a welcome. If you want to join the board, we're always looking for people anxious to help us. Yeah, for sure. And then he recently retired last year. I think 3 years. 3 years, really? Okay. So he's been hanging around even more. Before it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I've got a full-time job, I really do now. But now we call on him all the time, and he is here. You've actually created our websites for years, right? A couple of them, yeah. Yeah. So, and retired from the Jockey Club, and the latest thing, he's worked with Ben and Paul Stackhouse on the Club Express. So he's the guy that knows the nuts and bolts of Club Express. Yeah. And so he's presenting tonight. And I wanted him also, come on up, and I'm going to turn it over to you for the best of Lexington. How many of you remember getting an email that says, please vote for us for the best of Lexington? Thank you, because, drum roll, click, we won. Well, we're in second place. Apex Driving School came in ahead of us, but they probably it was probably a ringer or something. We came in second. This Education Tutoring Services, and considering it was the first time we attended this, thank you so much, because we're going to start banging the drum, say, yeah, if you want to learn about computers and things like that, we have a pretty good idea how to do it. And please come and join us for this kind of thing. So, we're now going to learn about Club Express. Does anyone have any bad feelings about Club Express so far? And the only reason I ask that is at the last board meeting, someone said, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what they're saying about it. And I was worried that I would need like a screen so you wouldn't throw things at me. But I think we're going to be okay. So,
Jim,
yes.
I think I felt that I was in that category that you spoke of. Until today, when I had gotten my email, did click on the link, I read a couple of sentences and so forth, and I got my email set up. So now I'm going to have you show me all the great things we can do.
We'll find out. So I'm going to move around here.
Is that the same as setting your account up in a CKC? Yes.
That is, yes.
Okay, I've done that. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, yes, and no. What other things are available?
Okay.
So that's what we're really going after.
Okay.
And as you can see, no, we're not doing it yet.
Why don't you speak? I think it's the Club Express tournament room. That's a different thing. Then okay, he'll explain how that all relates.
You can see we're banging the drum about that's the Lexington. So the reason
all those people are showing up.
The reason that we moved to this was for many, many years. Here,
Where did it go?
For many years, we have been keeping track of membership using an old program that was created in the late 80s when we started. We have volunteers. This is all right program.
he wrote it. It has migrated for a couple different versions since then, but ultimately, it was a PC program ran on that machine, and it wouldn't run in the current version of Windows. We literally had to say, we have this 1990s version of a program in DOS, please run it, and figure out how to make it run. So we needed to really move forward with something. Also, the idea of having it available online means that more than one person can interact with it at the same time as an administrator. And ultimately, we want to expand what the members can do as far as keeping up with their own information. We have been concerned that we kind of lose track of people. So hopefully, we're going to be able to keep better track of them. You can do your own work. I'm going to turn that down. Well, there's people out there that are making noise.
Oh, can you mute them? Mute the trends, because I can't hear.
I can hear the coffee maker go off downstairs. So everything we're doing here over on Club Express. But we thought we'd want to make sure Club Express worked before we did a big transition and move the store and the classes and the announcements and things like that over to Club Express. So the two will exist side by side until we determine that it can move. If we determine that it's best being left in its own silo, its own areas, we will leave it in its own areas. And that'll actually come from you guys that says, this is hard, this is easy, whatever, as we move forward. So when we started this, we gave Club Express our database of members. And on June the 10th, we said to Club Express, okay, send all the people that are members an email welcoming them to Club Express, with the idea that they would log in and just make sure the information we have on them is correct. Now, guess what? If we didn't have your right email address, you would have never gotten that. So what we've been doing is we've been tracking people who have not logged into the system. So it's possible you have gotten several emails from Club Express or from us saying, we've noticed you've not logged in. We're not trying to be pains in the ass, but we're trying to make sure we can connect with everyone. So that's the reason we have been going through this. As we've been talking about Club Express, amongst the 3 or 4 people that are kind of watching over to make sure it transitions properly, we've realized that we owe the members this kind of class or this kind of introduction to it, to say, here's why we did it, here's what you can do, and here's what we're possibly going to be doing in the future. So that's why we're here. Now, did anyone get the email that says like you have not logged in yet in this room? Okay, good, because that went to 184 people that had not yet logged in, and that was as of Saturday. And that was after 2 months, literally, of pushing this to say we want you to log in, et cetera, et cetera. What we're trying to get away from is, in the past, for when it was time to renew your membership, literally, Dan would mail you something, and then mail you something again, and then possibly a third one. And so that was costing a lot of money, plus the amount of effort it takes to do that for the membership we have. So that's another reason we want to try to move from paper-based to online. There's times when online is just a pain. I'm not gonna say I don't have the same feeling for bad things. And sometimes Club Express drives us crazy. We're still learning. We're still figuring out how to make it work best for the organization. So what we described today is what we're doing today. In 2 weeks, in fact, we just decided something before the meeting. We're going to change a membership status from one thing to another. Will it affect any of you? No. But it may affect a brand new member. So this is evolving. And as we go, we're learning more about Club Express, we're learning more about the reports and what we can get. Now, I'm going to walk you through the steps that hopefully you've all gone through already, which is to set up your profile. You haven't done it. But that's okay. If we've gotten, the thing is, if we've gotten the email to you that says, we notice you've not logged in, that's the important thing, because that means we found you. You saw us. When it's time to renew your membership, that's how you're going to hear that it's time to renew your membership. You're going to get something from Club Express, it's going to be from Ben, who's going to say it's time, click here, enter your credit card information, whatever, and you can move forward. We still will have the opportunity to walk in the office, although we're asking people to do it online. But if you walk into the office staff can help you if there's some issues with your computer or you just are hesitant to try to do the stuff yourself. We're going to jump back to the other website and we're going to walk through the different steps. So this is the home page of Club Express. There's not a lot to it. There's basically a member login and a join CKCS. If you wanted to join for the first time, you would click this and it would bring you through the steps of joining. And it's no more than what we're going to show you for a profile, but this is what we're going to invite people to do if they want to join the organization for the first time. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go back to home. Oh, before I do that, we got to pitch. I am the treasurer. We got to pitch this. If I click about CKCS, how many are aware that you can shop at Kroger and we get a little bit of money when you do? If you're not doing it, there's the instructions on how to do it. We don't make a lot of money on it. We make something. So it doesn't cost anymore. But if you shop at Kroger versus Publix versus Myers versus all the others, we can you can take advantage of us or take advantage of making a small donation to us. For those of you who have been around since the 90s, it's not AT&T money. For those of you around by then, you know what I'm talking about. Nope, no one has. Remember when you have long distance carriers and you had to select the one you want? Somehow, some way, AT&T connected with us. And if you said, I want to connect to this nonprofit, your rate went down a little bit. So everyone was choosing one of the charities. We were listed, so we had literally thousands of people selecting CKCS as a charity, and we got 10 or 15 cents a month from it. So we were making thousands of dollars a year because AT&T said, you choose this people, your long distance carrier, and this is the charity for it. Those were the days. Okay, so member login. Let's go to home first. When you first come here and you want to log in for the first time, it's just a matter of clicking member login and let's see what's going on. Sample number. And now we're logging. Doesn't look a lot different other than the information in the middle about member login and join CKCS is gone. So there's not a lot here. At this point, again, we're only doing this for membership. But we do have a spot to get information about you. And that is this membership directory, which we'll go to in a second. But first, I'm going to show you the profile. And the profile is where I put in information about me, who I am, what I care about, and it's entirely up to you how much you want to share with the rest of the group. It's not mandatory that you do any of this. We do ask that you at least go through, under basic information, and enter information to make sure that we have the right information about you. So I am sample member. I live here, 160 Moore Drive. I'm in the Eastern Time Zone. I have a phone number. And if there's additional information about me, you can fill it in. Not needed. We just want to know that we can reach you. Because honestly, although Ben is not going to be sending email reminders for membership, at some point we may follow up after, if you ignore us a couple of times, we may follow up with a letter that says, we've noticed you've not renewed your membership. We really want you to continue to be a member of CKCS. The more people we have, the better off we do. And the more help we can be to the community. We have other phone number, we have the sample address. We also have additional member data. Is everyone getting the weekly e-bulletin? And if you're not, you may not have it signed up for it. The weekly e-bulletin is something that's sent out by one of our board members, Larry Mitchum, and it has all of the information about what's coming up in the next week, any announcements. It goes out on Thursday morning, I believe. And like this Thursday, it's going to show all the things that are coming up. This past week, the announcement for this class was there. So it's a way of saying what's happening. You may see something that says, hey, there's a workshop coming up. That's how I find out. So that's what the e-bulletin is. That's available when you go into profile. We are also saying, well, can you help out in the office? Would you like to be an instructor? And are there other areas that we can help you with? And this is where you can say yes or no, and you can make a comment. So that's under additional member data. We then have the standard directory, and we'll show you the membership directory in a second. This is where you can fill in information about yourself. That's me.
We recognize you.
Yeah, I thought you would. I did get the haircut now. You can change the banner. It can be anything you want. You can include your social networking connections and then a brief biography. I'm a bamboo connoisseur. I thought that was nice. And then it could be anything you want. And again, it's not shared unless you tell it that you want to share that information. We'll look at that.
I'll ask the question.
Yes.
I think I would get more out of this if I could get that page on my cell phone.
You could.
I don't know how you got it.
I logged into CKCS or Club Express, ckcs.clubexpress.com. Then I logged in with my information, my login information. I'm sample member and I have a password. That's what brought me to essentially this page. It does show up on a cell phone, but you have to log in first. If you haven't logged in, you can't get to that information. So you have to get to the account first so that you can see what information you have about you and what information you may want to get.
So do I sign in by going to Google?
No. Did you get the email that said you've not logged in yet? Okay. We're going to look you up and make sure we have the correct email address.
I don't think I did.
Well, I tell you what, we will look for you because I can tell whether or not someone has logged in yet.
Okay.
So if they have, we can say, yeah, you did it. You may not remember you did it because of all the stuff that I asked you to do. But when we're done here, we'll look and see what your status is. We'll do the same thing if anyone else that owns the same kind of question. But getting back to the profile, sample member profile. If you want to, you can change the username that the system assigned to you. So when you first came into the thing, it guessed at what username to call you. I called myself sample member. It did. It connected the two words. But if you had, it could have connected your name, your first initial, your last name. It kind of randomly does it. And it generates a temporary password for the very first time. But you are given the option, if you want to change it to something more meaningful to you, you have that opportunity. As long as it's not in use, you are allowed to do that. You can then also change your password to something, again, more meaningful. The only thing that we ask is it has to be 8 characters, and I know that people hate this, it has to be complex, meaning upper and lower case and a special character. And that has more to do with security than anything else. So. And so the other things you can look at is the histories, areas such as forms. We're not using this area yet, but this is still areas that potentially we could be using if we migrate from the old existing CTS.org website over to Club Express. This will be something that is a possible future possibility. And before we're done, I'm going to show you what the full website looks like, because Club Express does have a demo website that we experimented with before we said, yeah, let's move ahead. And it has all the bells and whistles, many of which we'll never use, but they're there if we ever want to turn them on. So I've got all of my information, and for the young lady that said she's not sure if you logged in, there is this feature here that will show you if you've logged in. And as an administrator, and there's several administrators here, we can look this up. We can't change your password to something that you want. We can only say, we set the person's password, which I'll show you in a second. But we can never see your password. We can never log in as you, unless we go through a bunch of gyrations that don't make any sense, but you can. So we're done with that. So we're going to click on home. And now here's the membership directory. Well, let's go back to sample member one more time on the profile. There's a feature here that says edit visibility setting. This is where you can control what you want the world to see about you. The default is not to show all the information about you. If you put your name, address, your phone number, your birth date, all the kinds of stuff that are available, you can control what you want the rest of the membership to see. And only members get to see this. It's not visible to the public. They are not going to be able to come here and see the membership directory. You have to be a member that has logged in order to get to the directory. But here's where I can control what types of things I want to be shown, including do not list me in directory. And that is under here, under visibility setting. And let me show you one more piece, which is privacy cancel remove. Let's say that you just don't want to get emails from us. We send out a monthly email also. Kurt does a great job on our newsletter that comes out on the first of the month. But let's say you don't want to get that. You can come in here under privacy options and say, I don't want to get your emails. You will get the emails for your membership renewals and any system generated emails that are significant that we need to make sure you know. But this will turn off getting the e-bulletin or the monthly email. And again, you can control that. So let's go back to membership directory. And here's the fun part. You can search for someone, or you can say, I want to find anyone with the last name of member, because I know sample members in there. I'll just say member. Search, and there's sample member. And this is the information I have said can be shown. Nothing else happens here. But I'm sharing all of this information. Had I not said that in my profile, that wouldn't be here. If I clear this, if I say reset and just say search, I will see 282 CKCS members. I will see their names and where the cities that they're in, city and state. And that's it. We have had some people who have they clicked in some of the information. As you can see, most of them have it. This is my friend Kurt. That's a picture of his cat. There we have Jan and Ann. And there's Phil, and there's sample member, and I think that's it. But you can control what's visible. Is this important? We don't know. We're trying to find out whether this is a function that people want to take advantage of. We want to be able to list you as a member, but you can control what's there, including one that says, don't show me at all. That's completely up to you. The default is to show your name and the city state, but you can control that if you want to. And you can add more. You can say, I want to show everything, or I want to show this, that you saw from that drop down. There's a lot of things that you can turn off or on. All right. Any questions so far? Yes, sir.
This came up, does my wife need to go in and set up a separate account?
Ben, would you answer a family member question?
Yeah, because I mean, I've already gone in and set mine up, but my wife Cheryl has not. And I just went through the profile and she is showing up as a secondary member.
Okay.
But now will she have her own login and her password and everything? Yes. So she needs to go ahead and log in. Yes. Also.
Does she have a different email address than you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Does she have to indicate that she's a secondary member or?
The system already knows that.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I see that.
When
Okay.
Ben configured the system, Ben built the database that was sent to Club Express. He understood the relationship between the members and secondary and possibly a third member.
Tertiary, yeah.
Tertiary member.
So,
So he took care of that. Now,
thank you.
let's say
Okay.
you've never logged in and you don't know how to log in. But you got the email, or you think you got the email from us, but you don't know where it's at, and you don't know what happened. Well, what you do is, if you go to member login, there's going to be something that says forget username password. And here's where it doesn't care about your username. It only cares about the email address that we have on file for you. If you go in here and put the email address, your email address, within a few minutes, you're going to get an email from Club Express that says, you want to reset your password. It's going to tell you what your login name is, what your username is. It will also tell or give you a temporary password that you have to use to log in for that first time. And once you're logged in, and the very first time that you log in, it's going to walk you through all the steps of saying, well, here's the profile, here's the information for your name and address. Is this okay? Here's the information. Do you have other interests that you want to say yes or no to? You walk through that. And it walks you through all the steps of the program that we have accepted, that we have access to, and then can show for you. So that's what happens for the very first time when you log in. Once you've done that the first time, the system knows, and you just want to reset the password because you don't know how to log in, and that's the easiest way of getting back in, because I forgot my passwords. It'll send you the temporary, you set it to something that's meaningful to you, and then you're in. You can do whatever you need. So that's all she needs to do is do the lost password step, and it should bring her right through the steps that she needs to have.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Okay. I logged in and set it up months ago, and I have a password list, and I tried to log in before this presentation and it wouldn't take my password. It's in Bitwarden, which saves passwords, so I know it was the right one. So then I
Yeah.
went through the steps like you said, and it sent me a link, and I changed the password, and it still wouldn't let me in. So I don't know. I followed the rules, uppercase, lowercase, and a certain symbol, whatever it was. So I don't know what's wrong. And when you went through the list of names, my last name is Zaluga, SZ, and I didn't see it in there.
Okay, well, we're gonna show the group, including yourself, something. Let's jump over to this one. This is, well, this logged me off, so we're gonna log back in here. And what was your last name?
S as in Sam, Z as in zebra, ELUGA.
You unfortunately
That's
have
me.
a last name that's unique enough that we can deal with that. So, profile, as an administrator, the only thing I can do is, and I see that you logged in on July the 6th, so thank you very much for that. I'm gonna force a password reset to you again.
Okay.
All right, let's say that, reset password. So you should be getting another email from CKCS or from Flood Express where you will need to put your password in. Now, are you using Bitwarden to fill in the thing? Or are you typing it in by just typing it in?
I actually typed it in. I didn't make
Okay.
it 20 characters. I made it like 12.
It just has to be 8, so you don't have to get crazy. I know that Bitwarden can suggest a password
Yes.
from its vault. If you want to use that one, that's fine, but copy it to like Notepad or something so you have it and you know that's the one that you just put in successfully. And then try it again.
Okay. Thank you.
So, as an administrator, now the office staff can't do this step that I just did. There's several administrators that have the ability to look at your information. We can't see your username. Well, we can see your username, but we can't see your password. We don't have access to that. We don't want access to that. But we can see your profile. We can make changes to your profile. If we look you up and you say, hey, I never got any of the emails, blah, 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 we can look you up, and if we don't have the correct email for you, we can fix it. But we can't actually log you in. Unless we change your email to something that we know through a lost password, we get that email, then we see what the username and password is, and we can set something and then set the email back to your real email and say, here's what it is. We don't want to do that. That's kind of a worst case scenario. If we have to do something, we can do something like that. There's only about 4 people that can do that. We have not given that power to our office staff. We're seeing if we need to or not. This is a learning curve. We have some people that are just excellent on computers. We have others that are just, we're here to help, they understand, but they are not as, if you have that level of power, essentially you can wipe someone out. Now, if it doesn't want to come out permanently, it just puts them somewhere that can't be found, but another administrator can find you. But we don't want to have the office staff have to worry about that level unless we see that it's something that it's happening.
Okay. I tried again and it did not, it says login failed.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna, before this meeting is over, actually, no, we have your information. I'll get a hold of you and we'll walk it through together.
Okay.
All right, so let's jump back to the other browser. On that, this guy. I think this is what you saw, it's additional members in your account. If you do have family members, this is where it can bring up the other members that have been associated with your account. And we do allow for family members, and there has been some number of members that can be considered part of your family. We're still trying to figure out the exact number that's gonna work out for you. Typically, it's 2 or 3, maybe. But again, this is a learning phase for us also, and we're trying to figure out how this works and what we should be using of the site. So it is one of those things that says as we move forward, we're gonna try to figure out what's the good and the bad and promote as much good as we can. Questions?
Jim, can you show them where they can go to indicate an interest in something? So if they would like to know about the All Things Apple Special Interest Group, or if they want to make a suggestion.
Yeah,
Just remember. Indeed, remember data. The
yes,
second,
okay. Well, this is not, that's not interest.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's here. Interest. Right there. So this is the special interest groups. Now, we're not using this feature yet. But when you click on one of these, we have the ability, when we send out an email, to specifically say, anyone who has an interest in this will get this email that we're about to send. So that's the plan, is to be able to formulate those groups of folks that have an interest in something and send them out, include them in the emails that go out as the different SIG leaders and special interest group leaders decide how they want to communicate. They're not using this yet, but that's the plan. That's why we did have this area set up. If you have an interest, click it. At some point in the near future, you'll start getting emails to say, hey, we're gonna meet on this day, and this is kind of the subject we're gonna talk about. It's kind of like what we showed with the Apple event on August the 18th. That would be the kind of information that would be in that email that says, hey, August 18th, we're gonna do this. So either come by in person, or if it's available on Zoom, that information will be included in that email. So those are the future plans. We think this system has a very good potential for communications, and that's why we selected it. We looked at several. Ben and Paul spent a lot of time before I and Dorothy got involved with finding out what we can do with this. Does this work? And this seemed like, for what we're doing, the best option. Yes, ma'am.
How do I get the weekly bulletin? You said there's a weekly bulletin, and I don't know.
There is, you have to log in
To what? To this?
to this. And in your profile, additional member data. Do you want to receive the weekly e-bulletin?
Okay.
That should turn on the flag that when Larry Mitchum sends out the e-bulletin, his list just says anyone who has got this turned on will get the e-bulletin.
Okay, so, but have the bulletins been going on a long time?
About 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So they're connected to this.
they're connected to this.
All right.
In the past, there was a way that Larry was keeping up with who was going to get the bulletins. And actually, it was just kind of a mess with trying to get membership data to this and that, and someone's no longer a member, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so when I do this, I click that and then I get the.
Yes, if you don't, let us know.
And just check one time.
And then I'll do that.
Yeah. Now, here's
Now,
the caveat.
if I haven't been getting emails to do this.
Yes,
And I may have, but I don't, I'm not aware that I've been getting emails, and I know I didn't get an email saying I hadn't logged in.
mhm.
But if my name is on that member list, when I go to do this, it will let me.
Yes, if you do the lost password thing,
Yeah, okay,
that's the easiest way to see, can I get into this system?
okay.
Yeah. Now, unlike the poor lady that has the issue, well, it does work. But it may not work for some reason.
That's okay. I saw my name up there, so I assumed when I go home, I would.
Yes.
Do this. Yeah. Do that. I think you're sure it's whether or not we have the right email.
Right,
Well, if my name is on there.
that doesn't mean it's the right email, that means,
Well, I get things from, Kurt Jefferson.
well, you get monthly email? You get monthly,
Yeah, I get Kurt Jefferson's
you
email.
got for August and July.
Yes,
Okay, then we have the right email.
right.
Because Kurt started sending out on this system in July.
Okay.
We had been using 2 other mail systems, one called Constant Contact, another one called MailChimp. Larry used one, Kurt used the other one. So we had to move all those together to look at this thing. Yes,
I'm one of those negligent people who was not yet logged in.
okay,
Before I came, I was in a little bit of a rush and I pulled up everything from BCCS and I'm like, which one was it that I was supposed to do? I can't know what to do. And now I have these others. Is there any way you could tell me the date you sent that out and or send it out again?
the most current date was August. The 10th.
August 10th.
Oh, no, August 8th,
August 8th. Yeah.
at about 11:27 a.m.
Okay.
I was supposed to go at 6 a.m. I said, why didn't it go out? Okay, so I send now. That's the one you could go for. Now, the only thing it's gonna tell you is what I'm gonna tell you right now. It's gonna tell you to go to the lost password field. To say, I lost my password, send me information so you can log in for yourself. On June the 10th, when we told Club Express we're ready to go, it sent an email out that said, hi, welcome to Club Express. Here is a username that we have assigned to you and a temporary password. That's the only time that message was available, was June the 10th. We've been trying to catch up from that point forward, and the only way to catch up now is to say, I don't have a password, send me the password. We can't tell you what your temporary password is. And that's what is in the system right now, is whatever Club Express came up with for your account on June 10th. And we don't have access. Yeah, June the 10th is when the first message went out that said, welcome to Club Express. You may or may not have that. Sometimes email circulates or cleans out after 30 days. Don't know how your system's set up. But at the very least, you do the lost password thing. And you'll be able to get in the thing and have a look at your system, have you look at it. If you can't, contact us. We'll walk you through and figure out, do we have the right information.
The right message that you sent to log from. You haven't logged in yet?
Yeah.
Who it is?
Well, The message, the June, the message from Saturday basically said, if you're not logged in, click here, this is the lost password feature.
Oh,
That's all it was doing, because we can't find out how to get you logged in. We don't have access to that temporary name and password that was assigned to you. We can only say, go through this step, you'll get in.
yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't find the June the 10th, it's still out.
It's still out there, and if you've never logged in, that
You
information,
can still use it. Yeah,
you can still use it.
it's still out. You found it.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah,
Playing with this.
I was here today, I'm here on Monday morning. I had two people that did not know their login name nor their password. So what they did is they went through the login screen, and right under it, it says forgot username and password. And they clicked on that, and then you type in your email address. And it sends an email to you, and then that email, it tells you how to update your password, and it gives you a name to log in with. So it's on the initial page where you can log in. Underneath it, it says, I forgot this stuff. And you click on that.
Did you say on June the 10th?
Well, June the 10th was the initial Club Express email saying, welcome to Club Express.
But this assigns a new login name and a new password. Doesn't matter what was on June 10th. This is what they assign to you because they're sending it to your personal email with instructions. And it worked. Both of them got in. One of them was here and I went through with her. And then another person called in and on the phone, I told her what. It took about 5 minutes to get that email of how to update your password.
Yeah, the email, when you click on something, Club Express literally sends out thousands of emails a day.
Yeah.
So you may not get it, yes, as other systems
All right.
can send it to you. It can be a couple minutes, it can be 5 minutes or more.
Club Express is the program that's organizing all this.
Yes,
So it's a .com thing, and they're the ones who set the thing to log in, is that right?
that is correct. It's coming from,
And so I looked up KSCS, I won't get that, I'm gonna have to look up Club Express.
well, no, you have to go to ckcs.clubexpress.com.
Okay.
That is the login. That is the main URL to get into Club Express. It's ckcs.clubexpress.com.
Okay.
Now, the emails that Club Express sends is coming from mail2.clubexpress.com. That happens to be one of their many mail servers. There's probably a mail 3, a mail 4, and who knows how many other mail servers. We are trying to get Club Express to allow us to send emails from ckcs.org. They're still sending it, but because of spam and all the other things that can go wrong with the privacy on the internet, you can't just send an email as someone else. So there's some internal things that we're trying to get in line so that we can send messages from, say, newsletter at ckcs.org instead of
The .com.
like the email I got today was from notifications of mail2.clubexpress.com. Another thing, yes, sir.
So when you get email or the e-bulletin, the weekly
Yes.
e-bulletin, what will it come across as?
The sending address. It's gonna come across probably as notifications at mail2.clubexpress.com right now. We're trying to get that changed.
So I just joined CK last week
Okay,
and I joined using this new system.
yes.
And I've been able to log in, everything's fine, but I have not received the e-bulletin yet. So I might go to you to get there.
And also, did you select that you wanted to get the e-bulletin? Okay. Before you leave, give me your name and we'll check to make sure you're in there.
All right.
This is Sue Harold. I have a comment and maybe a question. A
Okay,
A few weeks ago, I received an invitation from Joe Dietz. When I opened it, I couldn't tell what it was an invitation to, but it did have a link to click for more information, which I didn't
okay.
do because I had no idea where this email had really come from.
Yes,
Was
you,
that
that was,
maybe to remind me
no,
to?
no, that was actually spam that someone was, this is a case of someone sending as someone else. With the
That's what I
intention of
was
getting.
afraid of and why I didn't answer it or didn't open it. Okay,
Never open an attachment on an email unless you absolutely know that someone was gonna send you something. Because I can look like someone else, I can look like Microsoft, I can look like Google and send you something that says your bank name, your account is in trouble. Open up this PDF. And
but
all of a sudden I can control your computer. So
this just said it was an invitation and it didn't say an invitation to what. So I was a suspect from the beginning and I didn't know if maybe Joe had been hacked. That they
it's
would
not
have.
that tax as much as someone was impersonating him. But there's a subtle difference.
But how
Bottom
would
line
they
is
know
click on something.
how would they know my email address that he had?
And connected it somehow.
So that happened to you answer.
Mm-hmm.
So it went out over my name.
Yeah.
And it was my email was hacked.
Yeah.
So when that happens, is there any step that I should take to prevent that in the future?
The only thing-
from keeping this person from hacking into my Gmail.
And the only thing you really need to do, if you are aware that that happened to you, you need to make sure you change your password immediately.
Like
Your Gmail password,
oh,
just in case. But beyond that, there's nothing else that you can do to prevent hallucination. That goes down. And that gets back to the issue of, in order for Club Express to send email that looks like it's coming from ckcs.org, internally, we have to make a lot of changes to our website that says, allow Club Express to send email that looks like it's coming from ckcs.org. So there's some steps that we're gonna have to go through, so to make that happen. It can't just happen by itself. But we're gonna see if that, hopefully they'll be able to figure that out without causing too much trouble. Now, one other thing, when you get an email from us, like the newsletter or the e-bulletin, for the very first time, you may get something that says, I am not showing, it's not showing graphics, I'm not showing images. Please turn on the images. It's important that we see the images, and I'll tell you why. And this is how websites know that you've done something. When an image is shown on a page, on an email, that image has to actually come from the server, the original server. It's not in the email itself. It's somewhere else that has to load down to you. They can record the fact that they have just sent an image to this address. And that's how they keep track of if you've opened the email. If you just look at the email and have not clicked on, I want to show the graphics, they don't really know you showed the graphics. It's a privacy thing. Some people don't want to know that I've opened up something. It's none of your business that I've opened up something. So you don't show graphics. But we ask, show our graphics. You get to see that fine CKCS logo that we've just changed. And we're very proud of that one. So please, when you can, turn on the graphics. It's called a beacon, and that's how they use to keep track of who has opened up an email or not. Other questions? All right, I know that this lady we're gonna talk to, and there's a lady on the phone, well. The lady whose last name starts with SZ, and thank God it's so unique,
Mary Ann.
Mary Ann.
That's
I
me.
will- will
I got it
call
to
you-
work. I
Oh, you did?
redid
Okay.
it and from scratch and got it to work. Thank you.
Okay, make sure you say that in Bitwarden.
This e-thing is 53 pages, e-bulletin. It's amazing.
It is amazing, that's why we wanna show the draft.
Yeah,
He loves
bulletin shouldn't be that big.
No, not evil, and that government newsletter.
Okay, so
That's the newsletter.
the newsletter is here.
And Kurt, that's Jefferson, he does a fantastic job
That comes out at, what's a month?
once a month.
Newsletter is.
Right.
What's the other one?
E-bulletin that comes out once a week, usually on Thursdays. Once a week? The e-bulletin,
Do we sign up for that or that? I'm sorry, that.
you have to sign up for that. That's in the. You're right, I'm right, like, who's the number down?
Is it a default to be yes or not?
Default, yes. The question is whether or not it is defaulted on for new members. Yeah, and it's a required, I didn't realize that we had flipped it on, but yes, that's what it's simple.
Okay, go over. Newsletter is long and informative.
Yes,
I've gotten that.
Yeah.
E-bulletin is different. It's,
once a week,
but what
it's
is,
what's coming up at next week.
it's coming up.
Yes.
We got 1 week information.
Usually 1 week information. Now, the important part of that is you may have seen something in the newsletter that said, hey, we're gonna have a class on blah. But all of a sudden, it's now that week. And it's kind of a tickler that says, oh, by the way, that's coming up. I wanna see that.
Okay. I-
Anything else, guys? When I go to parties, my assumption is that they will have potato chips. If they have potato chips, it's a good party. I set my bars fairly low, well, I'm always happy. I said to Brooklyn, if we have 3 people, we have a chip day. So thank you for all coming here,
Thank you.
as well as the people online. Ruth, you have anything else?
I think that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
So I think we're done. If you do have any questions, just come on up, we'll figure it out.
I can log in.
I got a newspaper today, which is,
So I'm.
Best Buy contest
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, good.
issue,
Yes,
and your email, I think, said go to page 75. But we weren't on 75.